Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the regular council meeting for January the 26th. I believe we have the staff introduction, and I'm giving it to Don Sari, our director.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce Andrew Phillips, who has joined us as our manager of engineering. Andrew brings more than 18 years of experience in both the public and private engineering sectors. His background includes transportation engineering, municipal and utility servicing, land development, strategic procurement, and team leadership. Andrew will be managing the city's current and future capital infrastructure projects. We look forward to working with Andrew, and I'm confident he will be a great asset to our city.
Welcome on board, Andrew. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Johnson that the agenda be adopted. Any addition or omission from administration?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. At the past council meeting, I made a statement about a sign on 2nd Avenue that we asked the company to remove a number of times, and they did not remove it. We since were informed through Community Futures that they were informing the sign company on a different sign, not the one that we were referencing. So I have to retract my comments I made about the sign not being moved as requested. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have a motion to adopt our agenda. Any other additions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Approved. Moved by Councillor Phillipson that the minutes from the regular council meeting held January 12, 2026 be approved. Any questions about the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Falkenberg that the Shock Trauma Air Rescue Services STARS presentation and funding request be accepted as information. We have Jackie with us today, Donor Relation and Development Officer.
Good afternoon, Council. It's good to come back again. I know some of you, and for those who don't, I'm Jackie Seeley, Development Officer with STARS. I live in the town of Bazzano, where I was born and raised, so always nice to come back to a local community and share a STARS update with you. STARS was born out of necessity and has been providing critical care since 1985, so over 40 years now, and as a charitable organization at no cost to the patient. Dr. Powell and his founders founded STARS, and it was really after a pregnant woman died from blood loss from a rural community who couldn't get to the hospital in time. So at that time, they rolled up their sleeves to begin the hard work to get STARS off the ground. This is our new CAO at STARS. Dr. Powell passed away at the end of April 2025. First mission ever was December 1st, 1985 to Lethbridge. Originally, we were Lions Air Ambulance, as you can see on the bottom right. Eventually, we became Shock Trauma Air Rescue Service, known as STARS, the red helicopter that served us well, the BK-117, for 37 years. We began phasing in a new fleet of H-145 helicopters in 2021. And so all 6 bases across Western Canada are now H-145 operational as intensive care unit environments. We work with multiple partners in the chain of survival, as listed here, and special mention and shout out to your local fire departments and regional fire throughout the county for often being the first response at the scene of an incident and also helping with the safe landing of STARS helicopter. These are the types of missions that we fly for. Cardiac is now number 1, surpassing vehicle incidents. Cardiac 21%, vehicle incidents 19%, and then a mix of everything else after that. Here is a mission overview over the last 5 years within the County of Newell. So as you can see, 171 missions flown, on average 34 missions per year, 80% of those missions through the Brooks Hospital as interfacility transfers, combined with scene calls near Brooks as well. So what typically happens is a patient is brought by ground ambulance into the hospital, and if critical, then STARS is called. Otherwise, as you see the scene calls, that is where it has already been deemed critical and STARS has landed either on the highway or in the field or wherever required to bring critical care to the patient's side. But how does this all happen? How is STARS funded? 36.6 million direct operating costs are needed in Alberta alone. So we do receive 15 million per year from our largest donor, Alberta Health Services. So that's 1.5. After that, we still must fundraise 59% of our direct operating costs. 10 million approximately comes from the STARS Lottery. STARS Lottery is now open. We encourage you to buy tickets. And after that, it is community-driven fundraisers, business, corporate, individual donations, and also the municipal initiative that the City of Brooks is part of since 2024. So this map shows an overview of the different levels of support across Alberta and Northeast BC. Basically, STARS is a shared service that municipalities recognize as an essential extension of the emergency services provided within their community. So with that, we have over 95% Alberta municipal support, 75% of those as regional leaders. So this map will show you a different overview of the levels of support. The light areas are under $2 per capita. The sea of blue across the map are our regional leaders, and these are over $2 per capita, anywhere up to $90 per capita. Regional leaders are shown in green. These are our much larger counties or MDs. We recognize the Rocky View County this spring with a logo unveiling for reaching 1 million in cumulative giving. County of Newell has been a long-time partner, so you can see the county is recognized in the sea of blue. They contribute over $3 per capita. And then we have a number of regional partnerships that we're building, and this is where the counties and MDs, in partnerships with the towns and villages, have all united within those boundaries in support of STARS. Wheatland County was the first full regional partnership here in southern Alberta, and recently the MD of Taber now has a full regional partnership with many other partners also joining across southern Alberta. We're proud to say that the City of Brooks is the first rural city to join the municipal initiative in southern Alberta, so thank you so much for that. It really is this united effort that creates this robust health and safety network that we rely on for our rural communities. To speak to our air medical crew, we're so much more than a helicopter. We're coming to the most rural and remote areas with a world-class crew. So every year, our team competes at the International Air Medical Transport Conference, where there's a simulation competition. And in the 23 years that STARS has been competing, we've always been within the top 3. And 8 of those years, we've been in first place. To speak to that, we also we have a clinical education team. Last March, we were in Brooks for a education and training session at the hospital. And again, this March, we will be in Brooks again. So I want to thank the City of Brooks so much for joining the municipal initiative at $1 per capita for 2024 and 25. We would love to see you not only recognized as the first rural city in southern Alberta to join the initiative, but to have you join as a regional leader with over 75% of the province. So as you can see, I've worked out a graduated proposal for you. If you'd like to increase to $1.25 per capita for 2026, and then working up to $2 per capita by 2029. STARS is available 24/7, and with over half of the calls being at night, it's really important to have that. Many rural areas recognize this as an essential service, and it's been these partnerships that have made us, have brought us through the last 40 years, and it's partnership that will help us get through the next 40. So thank you so much for your support and your consideration of this request.
Thank you very much. We highly appreciate the service you provide in our community and throughout the province. And our council appreciates that and look forward to continuous support and continuous partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions for Jackie? Okay. Okay. With that, we have the motion on the floor. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the Welcoming and Inclusive Community Committee presentation be accepted as information. And we have with us Amanda Goodenough, who is the co-chair of the committee. Welcome, Amanda.
Hello, thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Amanda Goodenough, and I am here, as you have so well said, as the co-chair on behalf of the WIC Committee. The WIC Committee is the Welcoming and Inclusive Communities Committee, and I'm here just to highlight some of the main points on the report that you received. The report's being provided for information, and I'm happy to answer any questions at the end. So the Welcoming and Inclusive Committees, or the WIC Committee, is an advisory committee to Council. We do not provide services, set policy, or duplicate the work of community organizations. Our role is to gather community input, identify participation barriers, and support coordination around welcoming and community connection. Our work is practical and community-focused, aimed at helping residents feel welcome and able to participate in community life. The report includes standard definitions for diversity, equity, and inclusion because we know these terms can be interpreted differently. So for us, diversity simply means the range of people who live in Brooks. Equity means fair access to information and opportunities. Inclusion means people feel welcome and able to participate. These definitions are used strictly to guide communication and avoid misunderstandings. So since April 2025, the committee has met monthly. We conducted 3 in-person engagement sessions, supported an online survey at community events, and then followed up with a summary report that was shared with community partners to confirm what we had heard. What residents told us was a mix of pride and practical concerns. Strengths, people see Brooks as a safe, family-oriented, and strongly connected community. Residents also identified some challenges such as transportation limitations, limited indoor gathering spaces, fewer family and youth activities outside of organized sports, and some residents feeling disconnected or unsure of how to get involved. So priorities were largely about communication, gathering spaces, community events, and having a central place to access information. Our next step is to develop a focused strategic plan with clear, achievable goals. That plan will prioritize coordination, avoid duplication, and stay within our advisory role. There is no program expansion or new service delivery being proposed through this report. That concludes the overview that I have. The report was submitted for your information, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Open the door to questions. Councillor Phillipson.
Through the chair to Amanda. Thank you. That's a good report. Can you tell me a little bit about the makeup of the committee? How many members do you have? Where are they from?
Definitely. So in the bylaw for the committee, it lays out 6 different stakeholder groups, so representatives from different aspects of the community. Then there's also 6 individuals that come through that route. There's also 6 members at large that we have right now. We can have up to 14, but we've got 12 right now. So we've got 6 members at large, as well as Councillor Falkenberg, who's the representative and the inclusion coordinator.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Johnson?
Thank you. Through the chair to Amanda, just a quick question on when you're expecting to present this strategic plan that you were speaking of?
That one, it is going to take a little bit of time. We're actually a bit ahead of schedule because of the community engagement that we had done. But we do plan within the next, I would say, 6 to 8 months to be able to provide something that is formalized, likely before that, for council to have a look at.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any question? Well, thank you, Amanda, for the report and the questions answered. This is a very important committee that we really look up to for advising us, and our community, our diversity is something that we are proud of, and we would love to do some work to see where this takes us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So all in favor receiving the information, the report as information? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Regner that the following items of correspondence be received as information. Update, council conferences and or workshops. Any councillor hearing? And all in favor? Okay, thank you. Moved by Councillor Phillipson that the urban forestry management update be accepted as information. We have Manager of Park Services, Mike Stewart.
My apologies, the report that was sent in with the appendix was not the updated one. However, it is updated on the city website. So I do have listed out here what was accomplished in 2025. We had, for stump removals, we had 8 stumps that were removed. That's in Appendix 4. That'll show the quantities and the locations. Tree pruning between the contractor and the city was approximately 390 trees. Again, those locations are listed in Appendix 1. Tree removals, the city removed 10 trees and the contractor had removed 4. We also had some trees removed out of the naturalized areas. Again, those locations are listed in Appendix 2. Tree planting, we planted 60 new trees last year. 20 were in the commemorative forest. 5 were replacements, and then 35 new as well. Those are all listed in Appendix 2 for their locations as well. On average, we typically do about 350 trees a year. Some of these were low trees that we did this year, so we didn't have to utilize the bucket truck for all of them, so we were able to do a few more this year. And if anybody does want any information on the 2024 year, those are also updated in the new appendix that is in the city website.
Thank you. Questions? Councillor Johnson?
Thank you. Through the chair to Mike. First of all, I laugh every time I see forestry, just so you know, in Brooks. Just a quick question on Appendix 4.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned 7 residential stumps. Is that because they need a special permit or something for removal?
No, those would be boulevard trees.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. And all in favor for accepting the report as information? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moved by Councillor Johnson that the council approves policy F004-001 entitled Snow and Ice Removal, and we have a Manager of Legislative Services.
Thank you. Through the chair to council. The snow and ice control policy outlines the current practices that Public Works and Parks follow after a snowfall and throughout the winter. The policy was presented to council committee last week, and there was one addition to the policy that states council will review the priority routes annually. Therefore, administration is recommending that council approve the policy.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor? Thank you. Next, moved by Councillor Regner, that council rescind policy F002-0144 entitled Authorization to Town Manager for Account Receivable Write-Offs.
Thank you again. Through the chair to council, the authorization to town manager for account receivable write-offs policy only includes a policy statement, which is now included in the CAO bylaw, and therefore this policy is no longer required. This was also presented to council committee last week and recommended to be brought forward to council to be rescinded, and that is administration's recommendation.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. All in favor? Perfect. Approved. Next, moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the council rescind policy F001-006 entitled Proclamations, again with Manager of Legislative Services.
Thank you. Through the chair to council. This policy was originally created to streamline the process for proclamations, as the proclamations that are listed in Schedule A of the policy are not required to be brought forward to council each year. Anything that's not listed is brought to council for presentation and discussion. Each year there are new requests that are presented to council for approval, and many times the city isn't hosting an event and only proclaims the day or days because we are requested by an organization. Administration is recommending that the policy is rescinded. If city staff would like to bring attention to an event that is normally held during a proclaimed day or week, they can provide an administrative report to council. Therefore, administration is recommending that the policy is rescinded.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. Through the chair to Amy. Can you give me an idea of, because I saw on the Government of Alberta website that they do, like the province still does proclamations, but it was kind of mentioned that other cities are going to no proclamations as well. Can you give me some examples, please?
Through the chair to Councillor Johnson, examples of municipalities that no longer do it. Okay, they were Spruce Grove, Stony Plain, Lethbridge, Rocky Mountain House, and I'm forgetting at least two, but those were the ones. There was three that I found when I was doing the research to bring this policy forward originally last year that said they just no longer allow proclamations. They just tell the organization that they don't provide those anymore.
Question? Councillor Nesbitt.
Through the chair to Amy, and probably to the community itself. The idea of removing the proclamations isn't that we don't value the people that are involved in those organizations, right? But the thing is, and I find it myself, is that I will see it, hear it maybe, but it doesn't mean anything as much as it did when they started making the proclamations initially. And I think the value that we could provide through the city, if possible, would be if something was going on, like you said, if staff hear of something, maybe we could participate more and do more of a coverage of that event to get it out there to our community. Does that make sense? That would be what I'd like to see.
Through the chair to Councillor Nesbitt, most of the time when it's not a city-led proclamation, they're just requesting that the day be proclaimed, but we could reach out to them and have them let us know if there are local events, and then we could send that information out to council if council would like to participate in those events.
I think that'd have more value. Thank you.
I think proclamations are something that bring awareness to things that are important to us. It also gives citizens a way to come and engage with council and provide opportunities for us to celebrate things, even if I am sometime not aware that there is a proclamation going on and I pass by the city or I see a visual reminder, I think that reminds me that these are important things that we care about. When you care about something, the fact that you are not doing anything about it now doesn't mean you take one step back and not even do the proclamations. It actually asks or requires us to do more to bring awareness to these things. So I urge my fellow councillors to think about that. I think the policy as it stands now does provide a very smooth streamline for what we do. It was done by the previous council to bring some sort of consistency and smooth process for that. So with that, I urge my fellow councillors again to consider that. Thank you. Any other? Councillor Phillipson.
Well, I'm okay with rescinding this for now. If in a couple of years from now we think requests come in and we have to reconsider, then we could always reconsider. But if you have like a National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, to me it waters down all the other good ones that are on the list. So I'm okay with rescinding it, but keep it in mind. If we want to come up with a better way to recognize certain topics like National Day of Mourning and then Parks and Recreation Month and tie it to an event, then we can reconsider it.
And I think the discussion around how many or what is the important ones is a good discussion, but I'm against rescinding the whole thing.
Through the chair to my fellow councillors, would it be better if we maybe tightened it up a bit and mentioned that it was only community functions that directly relate to people within the city of Brooks? Would that maybe be a nice happy medium?
Okay. Do you need an answer from administration? Or? Okay. Councillor Falkenberg.
I'll just first respond to that. Like we were discussing this last week. You either do it all or you don't do any. So I feel like a lot of these proclamations, there's very little effort being made to make them, to have us make them, and in the end, they become meaningless, especially when there are so many flooding in. I am in favor of rescinding this policy. I would like to see more community involvement in, if somebody has some interest in certain goings on, I would love to see them bring it to council, and I would love to discuss it and put a little effort into it. I think we'll have more people in our community understand the day or the week or the month, and I think we'll be better off for that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Against? The motion is defeated. Thank you. 3 and 3. Okay. Next, moved by Councillor Phillipson, that the appointment of the City of Brooks City Councillor to the Regional Emergency Advisory Council, is it? Committee, be changed to Mayor Norm Gerstein and Deputy Mayor Mohammed Idris as alternate member as required by the Newell Region Emergency Management Plan. And I think it is with the Director of Protection and Recreation and Protective Services.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council, before you is a request for decision regarding the reappointment of councillors to the Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, also known as REAC. In 2025, the City of Brooks formally requested and was granted approval to enter the Newell Regency Emergency Management Partnership by the original partner municipalities. In accordance with the Emergency Management Act, municipalities are required to appoint an emergency advisory committee to advise on the development of emergency plans and programs and to exercise any delegated authorities. This requirement is fulfilled regionally through the Newell Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, or REAC, which includes representation from each participating municipality and ensures the involvement of elected officials in emergency preparedness and response. At the 2025-2026 City of Brooks organizational meeting, appointments to REAC were Councillor Idris and alternate member Councillor Phillipson. The Newell Regional Emergency Management Plan framework requires reassigning the emergency management portfolio from the previously designated councillors to the mayor position and deputy mayor position as alternate in order to align the City of Brooks with the other participating Newell Region municipalities. There's no financial implications associated with this decision. Administration recommends the appointment of City of Brooks city councillors to REAC to be changed to Mayor Jarestein and Deputy Mayor Idris as the alternate member as required by the Newell Regional Emergency Management Plan.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Approved. Thank you. Next, moved by Councillor Falkenberg that Council approve the land sale of 432 Meadowbrook Drive East, Lot 9, Block 4, Plan 0912797 for the amount discussed in closed session. And that is with Director Planning and Community Development.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council, staff has received an offer to purchase a city-owned lot in the southeast sector. The lot is located at 432 Meadowbrook Drive East and is zoned residential single detached. The lot has been listed for sale on the city's website since 2010. The list price for the lot is $63,665, and council received an initial offer during a January 12th council meeting. A counter offer was presented to the buyer, and the buyer accepted. Therefore, staff is recommending that council approve the land sale of 432 Meadowbrook Drive East for the amount that was disclosed in closed session.
Any questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Approved. Moved by Councillor Regner that bylaw number 26008, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to regulate the proceedings of council and committee meetings, be introduced and read the first time. Manager of Legislative Services, Amy.
Thank you. Through the chair to council, the procedural bylaw outlines how council and council committee meetings are conducted, as well as various duties and responsibilities of council members. The bylaw was presented to council committee again last week. No changes were recommended, but I will quickly review the proposed changes by administration. Removing any reference to Robert's Rules of Order. Adding a clause prohibiting meetings after the close of nominations until the first org meeting after an election, unless there is something urgent. Removing the set dates and times for council meetings, because council sets that annually at the organizational meeting. RCMP reports are being changed from monthly to quarterly, and municipal enforcement reports are also being added quarterly. Removing the accounts payable listing within correspondence and information, and adding various minutes from boards, committees, and commissions to correspondence and information. Removal of questions from the media as a standing agenda item. The media can ask questions after the meeting or contact staff or council for questions or comments. Removal of any reference to member conduct. This change comes from the province changing legislation where municipalities cannot have reference to member conduct. They are expected to create a position and some rules as relates to council conduct for the whole province. If a member is participating through electronic communication and declares a pecuniary interest, their electronic communication will be terminated until the matter is discussed and decided upon. And if a member of the public is participating through electronic communication, they must provide a written copy of their submission, as there's always the possibility that there will be connectivity issues. Administration is recommending that council provide all 3 readings today and adopt the bylaw.
Thank you. Is that a question or clarification or?
I think I want to make a motion, please, if I can. I would like to change the.
I don't think you can make a motion now.
Okay.
You can do it after the second reading, yeah. Okay. Okay, so if there is no clarifications, all in favor? Perfect. Okay. Moved by Councillor Johnson that the bylaw 26-008 be read a second time. And now you can have a question or a motion.
I would like to make a motion, please. I would like, under changing RCM reports from monthly to quarterly and adding quarterly municipal enforcement reports, I would like that to read unless there is a situation that we have determined is of great interest to the city. I don't want to wait 3 months.
As needed.
Yeah, as needed.
As needed. Okay.
Point of clarification, can you point out what section you're referring to, please?
It's in the discussion options portion. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4th bullet point.
I think it will be in the agenda. I think it will be 505, section 505. Okay, so this sounds like a very friendly amendment. So are there any discussion on that?
Just as an additive for community is that we do receive information from our RCMP, just so you know that we are getting regular updates from them. And we also, through an email, as well as we have regular meetings with our staff sergeant and different members, and we really appreciate that.
Okay. Okay, so it's a friendly amendment, so I think we can vote on it, and we understand that it will change 505 under 5 and 6. So where it says once per quarter, it says unless otherwise needed. Okay, so all in favor? Approved. Okay. So we are still in the second reading. Are there any more questions? Councillor Regner.
Would there be any need to add that to the municipal enforcement report as well, in case?
I think that was
Second?
for, I think that
There
was
is?
for both
Yes,
of them.
my apologies.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, then we have moved by Councillor Johnson, or it was Johnson, yeah, that bylaw 26-008 be read a second time with the amendment. All in favor? Approved. Moved by Councillor Forkenberg that bylaw number 26-008 be given 3 readings at this time, and this motion needs to be approved anonymously. All in favor? Perfect. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that bylaw number 26-008 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to regulate the proceedings of council and committee meetings be read a 3rd time and adopted. All in favor? Approved. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Regner that bylaw number 26-001 being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 09-20 being the Northeast Sector Area Structure Plan be introduced and read a 1st time. Director of Planning and Community Development.
Thank you. Through the chair to Deputy Mayor and Council, tonight I will be presenting 7 bylaws, all proposed for first reading. So whereas there may not be any discussion on the floor, I will give you a brief overview of why we're proposing the changes to the bylaw and just some general changes that we're making. So on December 15th, 2025, Council approved a motion to remove the Municipal Planning Commission as the Subdivision and Development Authority and to transfer that authority. So in doing so, there are a number of bylaws that require amendments. The first of which is bylaw 09/20, which is the Northeast Area Sector Plan bylaw, and we are amending it to replace any textual reference to Municipal Planning Commission and replacing it with the phrase Development Authority. That is the only change that's being made. It's a very minor wording change, and there's no change to any policies within the plan.
Thank you. So any questions on this bylaw? Okay, all in favor? Perfect. Next, moved by Councillor Nesbitt that the bylaw number 26-001, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 21-19, being the Northwest Sector Area Structure Plan, be introduced and read a first time.
Thank you very much. So similarly, the textual references to Municipal Planning Commission within the Northwest Area Structure Plan bylaw are being changed to read Development Authority. So again, minor wording change, no policy changes.
Okay, questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Perfect. Moved by Councillor Falkenberg, bylaw number 26-003, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 25-23, being the Southeast Sector Area Structure Plan, be introduced and read a first time.
Thank you. And once again, textual references to the Municipal Planning Commission have been replaced with Development Authority.
Okay, again, I don't believe there will be questions. All in favor? Approved. Moved by Councillor Johnson that bylaw number 26-004, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta to amend bylaw number 14-12, being the land use bylaw, be introduced and read a first time.
Thank you. Through the chair. This one has a little bit more in-depth content changes, so I'll go through them just in kind of high level. Again, any reference to the Municipal Planning Commission has been replaced with Development Authority or Subdivision Authority where it's necessary. The development officer, who is the development authority, has been given 100% variance powers on measurable standards except for parking, which is set at a 50% variance power for new construction. The development officer has been given the authority over discretionary use applications, time extensions, and similar use applications. The notification of landowners and affected person is now required for discretionary use application, any variance over 50% for new construction, and a requested variance that exceeds 25% of minimum required parking. Previously, it was only suggested or an option to do notification. And finally, where notification of landowners is required, staff will provide notice to the landowners within 100 meters and other persons likely to be affected. Previously, it was only required that we would notify adjacent landowners, so where the parcels are actually touching. Staff has included a copy, a red line copy in your package that shows all of the changes that have been made to the land use bylaw, as well as a clean copy that shows you what it will look like if approved. And I will also mention that bylaws 26001, 26002, 26003, as they are statutory plans, when you amend a bylaw, you require a public hearing. And the same goes for the land use bylaw, a public hearing will be required. So those first four bylaws will also require a public hearing.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Councillor Johnson.
Thank you. Through the chair to Director Tiffin. I'm looking at 36.4 on that bylaw. Is there any way that we can set a minimum standard of what that mail out, how many days prior it must be postmarked for?
Yes, through the chair to Councillor Johnson, that is actually specified within the bylaw as well I think at a different point, that says we must give 7 days for the mail to be delivered and 5 days for the person to comment back. So a total of 12 days.
So just because I did see
Councillor
in...
Johnson.
Sorry.
So this will be discussion after the second reading. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
Question.
Regner.
with the 100% variance powers to the,
Again, are you, clarification. Okay? Okay, we have a motion. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Councillor Johnson that bylaw number 26004, being bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta, to amend bylaw, oh, this is the one we just did, right? Okay, sorry. Lots of bylaws today. Okay. Moved by Councillor Phillipson that bylaw number 26005, being a bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta, to repeal the planning authorization, or the planning authority's bylaw, be introduced and read a first time.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, with the change in authorities being given to development officer, we are required to repeal the bylaws whereby these bylaws previously authorized the development authority and municipal planning commission and the subdivision authority. So with the changes in authorization, these bylaws need to be repealed along with all amendments to each.
Questions or clarifications? I do have a clarification. So do we not have to wait till we have 3 readings on bylaw 4? Because if we pass this bylaw today, we technically do not have an authority.
Yes, through the chair to Deputy Mayor Idris, we are not passing this bylaw today. We're only offering first reading.
Okay.
But you're correct. If we were approving it in 3 readings, we would
Okay, perfect.
be without a development authority.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, all in favor? Okay. Moved by Councillor Falkenberg that bylaw number 26-006, being bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta, to establish a development authority, be introduced and read a first time.
Okay, thank you. Number 6. So as a requirement of the MGA, municipalities are required to designate a development authority through bylaw. Previously, the development authority was designated to the Municipal Planning Commission and the development officer. This new bylaw will officially designate the persons as appointed under the land use bylaw as development control officers. So we're keeping it quite high level and vague so that you can have multiple people designated as development control officers, not just one specific position within the city staff. So again, this is being given first reading.
Okay. Any clarifications? All in favor? Okay. Approved. Moved by Councillor Nesbitt that bylaw number 26-007, being the bylaw of the City of Brooks in the province of Alberta, to establish a subdivision authority, be introduced and read a first time.
Thank you very much. Through the chair, so this is the final bylaw that we'll be presenting tonight. Again, it's required by the MGA that a municipality officially designates a subdivision authority, and council's direction was to have council act as subdivision authority. So the bylaw states that council shall at its organizational meeting each year appoint all councillors who do not currently sit on the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board to be members of the subdivision authority.
Questions, clarifications? Okay, all in favor? Moved by Councillor Phillipson that a public hearing be held on February 23rd, 2026 to gather public input regarding bylaw numbers 26-001, 26-002, 26-003, 26-004. All in favor? Okay. Moved by Councillor Regner that council close the meeting to the public for agenda item 10A, land matter, as per section 19 of the ATIA at 5:20 p.m. All in favor?